so mighty, Mr. Fool. Thinking you're so clever, took on the world.
You seldom get an opportunity to be tested by history and thrown in the end, where actually all the selfish elements that you find within human beings have to sort of like rise and take precedence over everything. And you just get this one chance to say, here's a test, what would you do? If you were to give away your life for the cause, would we really do that? Even as we joined the African National Congress and decided to go out into war, we knew if we were lucky we would survive, but the logical conclusion would be death.
You're so mighty, Mr. Fool. Thinking you're so clever, took on the world.
I was raised here. This is the city in which I was raised. So this is the city that gave me my strength.
Growing up in White City, Soweto in Johannesburg was not easy. As a child, James and his family were forced to move several times due to the Group Areas Act. Born to be a guerrilla with the heart of a musician and poet, James was ready on the eve of 1976 to stand up and be counted in South Africa's struggle for democracy.
This place is called Windsor East. Well, the colonialists built this place. Hence, if you look at the streets, they are all English streets.
Could James possibly have foreseen the turbulences of his life's journey through a revolution to the very brink of death?
My political education was given to me by Aaron Mia. Well, it took him a while to educate me about some of the events. Some of them happened when they were happening. I was young, of course. And they didn't make sense then. That's how I became the member of the African National Congress. If you remember at the time, around about the 70s, politically, the country was very dormant, except small little cells. People were doing work quietly. But when the reggae wave hit the country, a lot of people started getting conscientized at the time.
We used to buy music from very hidden stores. That's how you'd get music about political songs, political literature.
Reggae music started really getting into the country in various ways. Of course, we had been receiving some of the material that you would normally not hear on the radio. People like Jimmy Cliff, House of Exile, Follow My Mind. The message in that music began to make people try and understand what it is that Jimmy Cliff was saying. I should have left in 1974, I delayed. It was 75, I delayed. Eventually in 1976, that's when I left the country.
1974, I was at the University of North. 75, 76, this is when this happened. Even the universities were explosive.
June 16 galvanized the youth of the country to stand up against the apartheid system.
The watershed events of 1976 changed the course of James' life. James, like many other young people, left the country to undergo military training. Fired by fierce loyalty to Africa, he was forced to leave the very land that he loved.
In a major way, the youth shifted the responsibility of leading the revolution of our country to themselves.
The explosion in 76 was as a result of something that was building for years. I'm talking from way back this early 60s. Now this is mid 70s.
Africa, my Africa. Africa of proud.